Hello everyone, welcome to the September 9th, 2018 edition of the Astrology News Report. I'm your intrepid host, Ron Berger. In this segment, we'll take a look at the upcoming planetary patterns and predictions, what's on the celestial agenda for September 9th to September 16th and beyond. But before beginning, a little reminder to viewers to please help out covering the costs of keeping this weekly report going. Some of you have donated, many more have not. Just click on the link at the end of the video to make your donation. Thanks. Today, Sunday, September 9th, is the new moon at 22 degrees sidereal Leo. This new moon marks the beginning of the Hindu lunar month Bhadrapada, named after the lunar sign of the full moon, Uttarabhadra, which will be at 7 degrees Pisces on September 24th. When the new moon is interacting with a particular planet, the lunar month takes on the qualities of that planet. In this case, the new moon in Leo is in very close opposition with Neptune, transiting on the other side of the zodiac at 20 degrees Aquarius. Neptune is the planet of dreams, of the imagination, and therefore essential to creativity. But on the downside, Neptune is the planet of the irrational, as well as illusion, delusion, confusion, and even deception. Therefore, the flavor of the upcoming lunar month, in other words, the next 4 weeks, has a non-rational vibe to it. In other words, keep a fistful of salt ready when dealing with any incoming information. Another interaction with Neptune happening this week occurs when Mercury, planet of the rational mind, comes into opposition with the planet of fantasy, exact on Thursday, September 13th. Since it is the planet of rational thinking, Mercury is an important component in making decisions. While it is influenced by Neptune, the decision-making process suffers from a lack of realism. Mercury is also the planet of communications, therefore the media. When Mercury is influenced by the planet of illusions and deception, we get news reports that can't be trusted. This pattern adds to what that new moon Neptune opposition suggests. Things are going to veer off into the wild imagination dimension. So, not a good week for making important decisions. The nodes of the moon, the eclipse points, called Rahu and Ketu, only make a couple of degrees on average of progress in a month. Sometimes they even hang out on 1 degree for a month or 2 or more. When a planet interacts with an eclipse point, its significations get distorted. The nodes are always 180 degrees apart, in other words, exactly opposite to each other. Astrologers have noted that the midpoint between the 2 nodes is also a problematic spot for a transiting planet. A planet at this point would be square to the nodes. This week, Venus moves into that position. During September, Venus is moving slowly because it is approaching its retrograde period, which begins in early October. Thus, Venus will be hanging around this Rahu-Ketu midpoint for several days. The exact position happens on Saturday, Sunday, September 15th, 16th, when Venus will be at 10 degrees Libra. Transiting through this nodal midpoint puts a lot of stress on Venus and its significations during mid-September. Therefore, finding harmony and agreement will be problematic. Determining true value, and therefore cost, will be more difficult. Note, too, that all this week Venus is in opposition with Uranus, exact on Tuesday, September 11th, when the 2 planets are at 7 degrees of their respective signs. This opposition, like Venus at the nodal midpoint, puts a lot of stress on the significations of Venus. The planet of sudden, unexpected events, rebellion, disruption, inspiration, and realizations will be influencing the planet of love, relationship, harmony, agreement, finance, and guidance. So, not the best combination for Venus, not the best week for harmony and agreement, but Venus is simultaneously sending its energy to Uranus. So, maybe the rebels will benefit. And another problematic planetary pattern will be exact in mid-September, the square of Mars to Uranus. This pattern becomes exact in the middle of the month from September 15th until September 19th, with Mars and Uranus at 7 degrees of their respective signs. We have already been feeling this energy pattern for the past couple of weeks. Uranus is in the Mars-ruled sign Aries, further intensifying its effects. Mars, the planet of action and aggression, acting on Uranus, the planet of sudden, unexpected events, is a setup for violent events. Note that this planetary pattern is happening along with the Venus-Uranus opposition, forming what the Western astrologer calls a T-square, a pattern that creates a lot of tension, indicating potential for a crisis. So, rather stressful planetary setup for the middle of September. And now, before leaving, a short pitch for donations. It does take a lot of time and effort to put these videos together. If you appreciate what this YouTube channel does for you, you can show your support by donating a few bucks to the cause. Just click on or touch the donation card you see here, which will take you to the donation page. Thanks, and until next week.